were here for about, let's see,
3 weeks.
3 weeks, and it was on Valentine's.
Yep.
And the ice storm of the century for Texas hit. Hey everyone, I'm Steven. It's my wife Carmen. We're the Gonzalez's, and we just wanted to share a little bit about ourselves. So we decided to venture out into the YouTube world. We live in Texas, and funnily enough, it's been about exactly a year to the date that we got here. It's been an adventure. It's been an interesting year. Crazy, fun, sad, emotional stuff over this past year. We're excited to be here though. At the end of the day, it's what was best for our family, and so we just wanted to take you guys on a journey with us. This is basically the story of how it went because of how everything worked out. Our oldest son, his birthday is in December. Our beautiful niece Christina was getting married, and then my sister was also going to get married. So we decided to say, okay, let's get through one last holiday in California. Let's get through, the wedding, Cameron's birthday, my sister's wedding, and then we'll go. On January 19th, I drove her to her mom's house, and because her stepdad was going to take her to the airport the next day, and she flew out with our 4 kids and our niece, Iliana, who goes by Mana.
Love you.
She's awesome. To keep her company, because I drove with Papa, who I mentioned before. Him and I drove to Texas from California. We left at 5 in the morning, stopped at his oldest son's house, made it all the way to Las Cruces. I drove, he talked. He had this just ability to keep you company and entertain and constantly keep the conversation flowing. And then the next day on the 21st, we drove the rest of the way. I made it here to San Antonio, Texas on that 21st. And this is where we've been for the last year. It's been an adventure. We got here, moving 1,800 miles away is one thing. And then all of a sudden you went from 1,099 square feet to 24, a little under 2,500 square feet. And so you're buying furniture, you're getting this ready, you're a homeowner now. There's other things that come with it. You have to hook up your own washer and dryer, moving refrigerators, because my wife wanted a different fridge, so then we put the other one in the garage.
Hey, you said, he suggested I get a new one.
I'm the one who told her she'd get whatever she wanted.
And then told me when it was here that it wasn't going to stay.
And then we figured it out because my brother-in-law figured
and Uncle Vic.
And Uncle Vic, yeah, they figured out how to move the island, and we put the fridge in and everything, and it all worked out in the end, and they were great help. We were here for about, let's see, 3 weeks, and it was on Valentine's.
Yep.
And the ice storm of the century for Texas hit.
Yep.
And so we were without power, no heat the first few days it was off and on and come on for a couple hours and then die but then the longer it went on, the longer the gaps before it came on, and then towards the end it would come on for like 10 seconds and then it would shut off immediately.
Yeah.
And so that was an adventure. We were here, it was very cold, there was snow on the ground, and my wife did a great job of keeping the kids entertained, playing hide and seek with them. Our oldest thought it would be hilarious to hide in the washer. Yeah. Different things like that. During the day we played a lot of Yahtzee.
Built puzzles.
We built a puzzle that never got finished.
It's really hard.
I think it's ridiculous. They had like so many
small pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
the lights came back on. Yeah. And we were done.
The other thing about it was T-Mobile is like, there's a dead zone for it. We couldn't make phone calls. Like there was one little spot in one of the bedrooms upstairs where we had to like stand there and hold the phone a certain way, and maybe you could get a signal for a phone call that would last you a minute. Then things kind of just normalized. We had some great friends of ours. They came and stayed with their
8 kids,
which was fantastic because it landed right on our second oldest's birthday. So
February.
He was blessed because he thought he wasn't going to have anybody with him.
We became dog owners, and we went for 1 and we ended up with 2.
I'm not necessarily wasn't a fan of one of them. I love them now, but our second oldest is like an animal lover. So we're like, okay, let's go get dogs. So I was there going for 1, just for 1. So
I went for 1 too.
And then this other little one stole my wife and our oldest son's heart. And she's just the cutest, most chill little thing. And we love them now. And yes, there's growing pains with having pets, but they're part of our household now. Then we found a local church that we love, and we joined a community that we really love, what we call our missional community, and started getting some friendships and putting down some roots. Then we have a pretty good string of visitors. You know, my sister and my mom and my nieces came.
My parents,
yes.
My mom and my stepdad, they came. My sister was here. They came to bring her and then pick her back up and take her back home.
And then Mana, who had flown with her in January, came in May and actually stayed with us for a few months. Things were good. And then
June 30th.
June 30th hit. And I got sick. That's just all we're gonna say. I got sick. And it lasted about 15 days. And 10 of those days for me were terrible. I had nausea from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. And so I basically had to force myself to eat, but I basically had to eat like basically sitting right outside the restaurant. Right around 4th of July, my wife and my kids are outside. The first time my kids ever got to do fireworks, I couldn't even enjoy it because I'm sitting on the couch sick as a dog with our 2 dogs who are freaked out.
Yeah.
You know,
dogs don't like fireworks.
No, and my wife's outside with Mana and my sister and her husband and our niece. And they're outside enjoying all these fireworks and letting them off. And then
bam,
she gets hit.
Yep.
And we're both down for the count. Our MC group, man, they brought us food. There was one time my wife and I were like just looking at each other like, we gotta feed the kids. Just no energy. And then I look at my phone, our friends is texting us saying, hey, my wife's right around the corner. She's bringing you guys food.
Yeah.
I just cried. You know, or another time when literally someone said, hey, we're bringing you something, and they bring us a box of groceries, like a lot of groceries.
Very detailed and considerate of the fact that we couldn't prepare anything. It was all like
easy stuff.
Easy. The kids could totally do it themselves.
They could pop something in the microwave or pop something in our chef. It's called what's it called? The
air fryer?
The air fryer, that's our chef. The chef in this house is the air fryer. So
I'll remember that.
My wife is, okay, so she's the chef. This is sous chef. It's the under chef. So anyway, they came through. So we finally got better. Unfortunately, during that time, we had some cousins come visit us, and we couldn't really visit with them for part of the time because we were sick. And then we finally got better, and then we were able to visit with them the last couple of days that they were here. You know, then Mana left because she got sick too, and she wanted to go back home and be in the comfort of her home. And it's like, okay, let's get back to normal. Let's get back to normal, right?
So the beginning of March, we miscarried, and there's a couple pieces that I just wanted to plug in. The biggest thing was that we found during that time that we were not plugged in. We were not being held accountable. And it was affecting this beautiful time in our life, something that we have worked so hard. We are 11 years into our marriage, and we are first-time homeowners. There has been so much that has taken place in order for us to get here. And we were finding ourselves at odds with each other. But the biggest missing piece was that we weren't being held accountable. We didn't have anybody, like there was a huge difference when we miscarried in March to when we experienced major illness in June, July.
Right.
It was night and day, and it really has helped for us to get through the next 6 months of what has now taken place.
We finally got better. Praise God for that.
Yeah.
July just kind of went on as normal. August is kind of getting back into the swing of things. Energy levels still took a while to come back. You know, we both found ourselves tired pretty quick.
Summer is beautiful here. Yes, it is hot and it is humid.
Very humid.
There are beautiful rivers, and you guys, memberships are so affordable that we could buy our whole family a membership for like $300 to water parks and whatnot. So we spent most of our time, the kids and I, because he was working and finishing school, we spent most of our time at Six Flags water park, as well as rivers, and it was so much fun. I turned 40 in 2021, and so he sent me and the girls to a river Airbnb, and it was the best experience that I could have had for a birthday. So I'm thankful for that. Now we're into September.
First of September, we had some amazing visitors. Mama and Papa came to visit us. Mama hadn't been here before. Papa had from when he drove with me. You know, we celebrated our daughter's birthday and everything was just kind of normal. And then the sad part of our year kicked in because Papa got sick. It was right around his birthday he got sick, like a few days before. And then on the 16th, he left Earth.
October 16th.
Yeah, he went home with the Lord, and
it's been a hard road. He was nearing completion of his bachelor's degree, and right in the thick of all of this, like finals, you know, grieving, concern before him passing. You know, he pretty much took his final test.
I finished my final paper as all this was happening, and I got I think I got my notification that I passed, and I had graduated like a few days after he passed. So it's been tough, and that preempted a trip back to California, and because of certain rules, I choose not to fly. So we drove, which was an interesting adventure, driving with our 4 kids. So we rented a vehicle. But
it's amazing.
They did great. So California back for Memorial. Got to see friends and family. That was cool.
Bittersweet.
The last couple of months have just been, you know, obviously the holidays. We got to celebrate our first Christmas, our first Thanksgiving here. We got to host. And so we opened our home up for both Christmas and Thanksgiving. We have other friends that also their family's out of state, so they came here and we celebrate together. Her sister that lives in about 50 minutes away, and her husband, they got to come and hang out with us. And you know, my wife got to cook and host and do all the things that she was not able to do for the last 11 years because we just didn't have the space to do it in. And that was neat. I am a huge fan of real Christmas trees, not fake trees. So we got to put one up, and it was big and decorated,
really big.
And you know, we got to put lights out on the side. So in the midst of sorrow, there was also, it's a weird dichotomy. It's like there's sorrow, but then there's still joy. New Year's here is a whole different animal in terms of fireworks, and this time, because I wasn't sick, I got to experience it. We got to go out. We got to just.
So is there a fireworks budget now?
Yeah, so now I'm like, oh, we got to start budgeting for this because I want to go big. I want to like buy like the good ones, the ones that are like cannons that shoot up and you know, make the loud sound and all the pretty colors up there, you know. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that for 4th of July and for New Year's, and maybe we'll record that and share.
Yeah.
So now we're in 2022. You know, we're looking forward to another year here in Texas, and hopefully it'll be a good year.
You know, the only regret we have is not making the move sooner. If you are considering a move, obviously prayerfully discuss it with more than just the 2 of you, with somebody that you trust, but do it. Make the trip. We made a first family vacation trip of it, but our only regret is not doing it sooner.
Yeah.
We hesitated because we were concerned about our 13, now 14-year-old.
It's funny because when you live in California or wherever, you think like it's the end all be all. And then you come experience something different and you find out that there's more to life. And my son is doing things that I never thought he would do, like joining Civil Air Patrol. Or just more adventurous, more outgoing. I wouldn't trade that for anything. You know, it's more about what's at home. And that's what's most important to us. And you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that there are some challenging times. Like, I miss my family. She misses her family. I mean, I miss some good Mexican food. I'm not gonna lie.
We do miss some of the restaurants.
Sometimes I'm like, I really want some good poke.
We haven't found any great poke. So Texans, if you can give us some recommendations, we are in Northwest San Antonio. That'd be helpful.
Similar trend for anything that things my kids get to experience. They have space, so they can go to their rooms. They can, you know, be there. We're not all on top of each other. And I work from home, and she works from home. It seems like, you know, we have a lot of space and freedom, and freedom's a big one. And we get to raise our kids the way we want. That's what this whole thing that we're doing is about. It's about sharing about what our life, and some of it is we do things what we call the Gonzo way, or the Gonzo life.
Gonzo life. You
know, that Gonzo life. I'm grateful for the move. I wish I would have done it sooner. It was because of me, because I dragged my feet, you know, because I let fear dictate my life, you know. And at the end of the day, it's like, Yeah, there was fear. But man, what came out of it was so much greater.
He grew up. We are now adults.
It only took me 40 years. There's still hope for some of you.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, comment what you enjoyed most, what you're looking forward to hearing from us.
And there's going to be a whole lot of Jesus.
We love him.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment below.